desire, and as you emanate that desire, your inner being, who remains non-physically focused, aware of you, but mostly non-physically focused, most of you is that non-physical inner being part. That part of you remains non-physically focused and receives the expansion that you have preferred as you have been sifting and sorting in step one. So you launch this rocket of desire, and when you ask, it is given. Someone should write a book about that. When you ask, it is given, which means the non-physical part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. So you, while you may not realize it, you have just allowed the contrast that you were living to cause you to expand. Oh, you expanded, and your inner being revels in the new expansion and holds the new place. Now that matters to you a lot, because now your inner being, because of what you have been living, has found this new place that you have carved out and is holding it steady. Now that signal that your inner being is emanating because of the expansion that you have caused, now law of attraction is responding to that signal. This is very important, because now law of attraction is responding to that signal, your inner being signal, your fullest expanded signal. But at the same time, law of attraction is responding to your signal, to what you're thinking in this personality, in this body, at this time. So you've got potentially two different signals going on. One, fully expecting and knowing the brilliance of you, and knowing absolutely that this that you desire is in the process of becoming, and you who may be standing over there in doubt about it. And your emotions at all times are your indicator, your vibrational indicator of how well or not you are up to speed with your own expansion. That's what your emotions are always about. Step one, you sorted and sifted and decided. Step two, you ask, and it was given vibrationally. But then you say, I don't see it. You say it is given. You've been very patient with us as we've been describing to you this vibrational world that often you can't see and you don't know because you can't see it. So we tell you about law of attraction, and we tell you about who you are and where you come from and how you relate to us. And then we tell you that you are emanating these rockets of desire, and that they are being gathered and held by your inner being in this vibrational reality. We even gave it a name. We wanted so much for you to accept the realness of it. Wrote a whole book about it. That should do it. The vortex, this vibrational reality where all that you are now is. In other words, you have become all of this. So law of attraction is responding to this aspect of you. The question is, are you up to speed with it? Because this vortex is gathering cooperative components. And so we began by saying to you, get into the vortex, get into the vortex, get into the vortex where what you have asked for, which is already a vibrational reality, get in there where you can know it, where you can feel it. And you were patient with us for quite a while, human race that you are. But then we began hearing from you things like, all right already, Abraham, how am I going to get the money out of the vortex and into the bank? This vortex is only satisfying for so long. And after a little while, we want to see the evidence of our creation. You do, don't you? And so that's where step 3 comes in. That's where you must be a vibrational match to what's in your vortex. You must be a vibrational match to what you've been asking for, to the expansion that you have accomplished. Because if you are not a vibrational match, then you are not in what we are wanting so much for you to hear and understand and know by the time you leave this room. You are not in the receiving mode unless you are vibrationally up to speed with your own desire. In other words, if you want something and you don't think it's coming, or you want it and you're complaining about how long it stayed away from you, you're not in the receiving mode. And even though your inner being and all that is emanating to you signals and information and impulses about what path you could take in order to find the delicious journey to the unfolding of everything that you're asking for, in your feeling of doubt, you are offering a vibration that is not letting you receive the signal purely. So step 3 is you've got to be in the receiving mode. We've called it the art of allowing what you've been asking for to come into your experience. Which brings us to the most important thing that we want to convey to you. And that is that you're masterful creators who have come into these bodies with the clear intention of gaining your balance, identifying your desires, holding your desires as prominent and predominant thoughts within you, so that law of attraction will respond to them. And under those conditions, you are then in the receiving mode. And when you are in the receiving mode, hear it, this is what we want you to know, your thoughts then turn to things, to experiences, to relationships, to all of the wonderful things that you have come to this physical environment to live and know. Sometimes humans think that their physicality is a lesser state of being, and that they should somehow shed it, that they should somehow meditate it away, that they should get their head in the clouds, that they should be only spiritual and never material. But we say to you, you are genius creators who have come to the leading edge. And in this leading edge time and space, it was your intention, it is our intention, that your thoughts do turn to things. Every thought does turn to things. In other words, your thoughts are turning to things. We just want you to be aware that your thoughts turn to things. We want you to be aware